From the station working for you, this is Good Morning Indiana, streaming now.
Now at 4:30, Governor Eric Holcomb updating some of Indiana's COVID-19 orders. We'll break down which mandates are being extended and which ones are being lifted.
The second case of the new COVID-19 strain reported in the U.S., what experts are learning about the more contagious virus.
And hundreds of small businesses are betting on a new way to stay afloat. Their call to lawmakers to legalize video gambling throughout Indiana. 4:30 here on your New Year's Eve. Thanks for joining our team on Good Morning Indiana. I'm Lauren Casey.
And I'm Megan Shin. My, oh my, we had some ice on the cars this morning, Todd.
Yeah.
Wow, what can we expect?
Remember, I told you had to get all aboard the roller coaster here.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, we were 50s, we had the rain, then the snow, and then the freezing temperatures. And it is a little slippery out there in spots here this morning. If you left your car outside, it's definitely going to have a layer of ice on it. The good news is, as you look at WRTV Storm Team radar, it is quiet. We have no additional precipitation in the forecast for the day today. That is now pushed down to the south. Eventually, this is going to start to lift back to the north, but that does not happen until after midnight tonight. And then we get into some additional issues across the area. But the daytime hours today are going to be dry. But with these temperatures where they are below the freezing mark, 25 in Indy, 28 in Bloomington, and 25 in Peru, all that moisture, the rain from yesterday, and then eventually the snow is frozen. And so that's why especially some of the side roads, bridges, and overpasses, got to give yourself just a little bit of extra time, slow down here throughout the course of the morning drive, if you even have to commute into work. Temperatures here in the mid-20s through about 11 a.m. And then eventually we climb up into the low 30s with skies today that'll be mostly cloudy. Late tonight into tomorrow morning, a winter weather advisory goes into effect for some freezing rain. More on that storm system, Lauren, coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. We're keeping a close eye on traffic this morning as you're heading out the door on this Thursday. You can see traffic here on the northeast side. I-465 and I-69 is traveling up to speed. You can see the interstates pretty clear from any snow or ice in this area. I know on my drive into work this morning, the neighborhood seemed a little dicey, so I wasn't sure what to expect, but once I got on the main roads, everything was really clear. Ran into a number of salt trucks, plows out there working to clear everything off this morning. So you shouldn't have too many issues. Just use caution, especially on secondary and side streets. So we'll continue to keep you updated if there are any crashes or delays. New from overnight, Metro Police are investigating a deadly shooting. This happened on Indy's north side. It happened just before 1 o'clock this morning along 39th Street, a few blocks east of the Indiana State Fairgrounds. A man was found suffering from gunshot wounds and died at the scene. Police have not released any suspect information at this time.
Lauren, now to the latest on COVID-19's impact on Hoosiers. Nearly half of Indiana counties are now in the red status, meaning they're at the highest risk level for the virus. That's almost double the number of red counties last week. And the state health department is reporting 4,819 new cases of the virus, bringing the state's total cases to more than 505,000 since March. 105 more Hoosiers have also died with COVID-19. And with the continued spread, Governor Eric Holcomb is updating his COVID-19 orders, Lauren.
That's right. He announced that he'll extend the statewide mask order for another 3 weeks. It will now expire January 24th. The restrictions on crowd sizes also remain in place. One change, hospitals will be allowed to resume elective surgeries and procedures. Surgeries were postponed earlier in the month to free up hospital capacity. As we reach another holiday, the state health commissioner is again asking people to celebrate responsibly.
I'm sure many of us would like to put this year behind us. There are ways to ring in the new year without putting yourself or others at risk. Those include having a celebration with members of your immediate household, calling friends and families to count the new year together, or even planning a neighborhood countdown at midnight where people stand on the front of their homes or in the streets and cheer at midnight. The safest way to mark the end to 2020 is by staying home with your own family. And if we all do that, we will have a much brighter 2021.
And a reminder for you and your New Year's festivities. Tonight, bars and restaurants here in Marion County will be closing a little earlier. The county health department is ordering all establishments serving in-person food and drinks to close indoor dining and drink service by midnight. Carryout will still be allowed. They'll also be able to reopen at 5 a.m. New Year's Day. And now similar measures are being taken in Fishers to limit public New Year's Eve celebrations. Indoor drinking and dining will be closed from 10 p.m. until 5 a.m. through January 8th.
Laura, new details this morning about that second confirmed case of the UK coronavirus strain discovered here at home. This as the number of deaths and hospitalizations continues to climb. ABC's Avery Harper with the latest from Washington.
The second confirmed case of the more contagious variant of COVID-19 has been found in Southern California's San Diego County. Health officials there trying to determine where the 30-year-old patient got it and how many more people could be infected.
Because there is no travel history, we believe this is not an isolated case.
The first confirmed case discovered in Colorado and another suspected one found in members of the National Guard deployed to help a nursing home amid an outbreak of the coronavirus.
We do not have evidence that the variant virus is circulating in that facility, but testing is ongoing.
Health experts say the mutation isn't more deadly and vaccines should still be effective against it. But the pace of vaccinations is still far behind expectations.
That number is lower than what we hoped for.
The Trump administration pledged 20 million vaccinations by the end of the year. So far, only 14 million have been distributed and only 2.5 million doses have been administered. The president blaming the states for the slow rollout, tweeting that they need to, quote, get moving. Los Angeles County marking more than 10,000 COVID-related deaths.
This has been the toughest year of our city's history.
The National Guard sending help for the coroner's office and funeral homes struggling to keep up with the influx of bodies.
I have to say, I'm sorry, I can't help you right now. And that's a very difficult thing to tell people.
There are fears that the death toll will only worsen as we enter the new year. The CDC is predicting that deaths could reach 424,000 by January 23rd. Avery Harper, ABC News, Washington.
This morning, we're learning more about the rare inflammatory illness that's been linked to COVID-19 in children. We're talking about the multisystem inflammatory syndrome, or MIS-C. It's a condition in which different body parts can become inflamed in kids. That includes the heart, lungs, kidneys, brain, skin, eyes, or gastrointestinal organs. Officials for the State Department of Health say 34 MIS-C cases have been confirmed in Indiana since the start of the pandemic. Of those 34 cases, Riley Hospital for Children has treated 21 of them. It's important to note doctors say most children have mild cases of it and will recover from the illness, but the long-term impact is still unknown, Lauren.
Well, Megan, it is 4:37. Hope for small businesses could come in the form of video gambling in terminals if a petition gets the attention of the General Assembly. More than 900 businesses and owners from across Indiana signed onto a petition asking their legislators to legalize video gambling to make up for revenue lost because of the pandemic.
This really is going to help the small kind of mom and pop bars, the ones that have really been hit hard by the pandemic. Our estimates are, give or take, about $100,000 per establishment per year.
Well, the revenue made from video gambling would be split 3 ways between the bar owner, the company that owns the machines, and local municipalities. The representative from Northeast Indiana is sponsoring a video gaming bill, and we're going to keep track of that bill and let you know if it gets enough support from lawmakers.
Disinfecting surfaces has become a frequent task during the pandemic, but how much do you really need to do it? Coming up, why experts say it is not as necessary as you'd expect.
And the Ball State Cardinals hoping that 2020 ends with their first ever bowl game win. We'll take a look at how the team is preparing to make history in their matchup this afternoon. Todd.
And Lauren, we dealt with the rain yesterday, then we dealt with the snow yesterday evening, and now we're getting a little bit of a break. As you can see, all the precipitation is to our south. But that precipitation surges back to the north here later tonight and into your New Year's Day, and it could create some issues. Winter weather advisories are posted. We'll break it down for you coming up when Good Morning Indiana continues right here on WRTV.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. So Megan, at the beginning of the pandemic, we know disinfecting wipes were a coveted item. They're really difficult to find, but now they're finally making their way back to the store shelves.
Thank goodness. But how much do we really need to disinfect surfaces, Lauren? Well, microbiologists say COVID-19 doesn't usually survive on surfaces. In fact, whenever the coronavirus is found on a surface, it's usually the RNA, which usually means the virus is no longer there, and it's unlikely that you will become infected with it by touching it. Dr. Emmanuel Goldman says because of that, it's not really necessary to consistently disinfect surfaces. Instead, we should focus on other preventative measures like hygiene.
Really, all you need to do is wash your hands, because even if you happen to touch something, it doesn't go through your skin of your fingers. You wash your hands and you're done with it.
Dr. Goldman says to remember the 3 W's: wear your mask, watch your distance, and of course, wash your hands.
Yeah, I remember the days of wiping down all your groceries. That was very annoying. So I'm glad we don't really have to do that anymore. So proving that you're vaccinated against COVID-19 could soon be as easy as pulling out your phone. This week, Health Vanna is giving digital vaccine record to people who are getting the shot out in Los Angeles County. People have to opt in to get the vaccine information digitally. Once they sign up, they can screenshot their vaccine record on their phone, or they can put it into their Apple Wallet. The company says this isn't an immunity passport like some people have been talking about. That's because they don't know yet who's going to accept this record from your phone. Time right now is 4:43 here on our New Year's Eve. And Todd, it was a little bit of a crazy night last night, and I know waking up I could see a little bit of snow, but a lot of ice on the roads and on the driveway.
Yeah, so what happened, there was a little bit of snow on the backside of that rain yesterday, which we said that was going to happen. It was a little burst, but the bigger issue is when the temperatures fell below the freezing mark, because they had all that moisture. Many areas picked up a ½ an inch to an inch of rain yesterday, and then that all froze. And so that's why we have the ice on the ground. What's on the ground is going to stick around for at least a couple more hours. It's not until probably the noon hour that we start to get the temperatures back above freezing. So just give yourself some extra time on the roadways here. 25 degrees, that is the current temperature in Indianapolis. Wind chill though of 14 with that northwesterly wind at 12 miles per hour. And that's what happened. The wind changed yesterday, came out of the northwest, and that started to drive in these colder temperatures where we sit in the 20s all across the area. 23 in Richmond, 26 in Greencastle, 28 in Bloomington. 24 is the current temperature in Tipton. Wind chill values, no matter where you go, are in the teens currently across the area. And as today breaks down, it's actually a very quiet day for us as we round out 2020 with temperatures that are going to be a little bit below normal. Lots of clouds around. There could be a few breaks in the clouds for a little bit of sunshine later on this afternoon, but otherwise we are just looking at a quiet day with chilly temperatures. Things will start to change though right as we bring in the new year. The radar right now is quiet. The rain from yesterday and snow down to our south. And as we expand out, look at this storm system. It stretches all the way from Maine and New England through Kentucky now, all the way down into portions of Texas. And this band of rain will continue to push off towards the south and east, but this is a developing area of low pressure, and that is going to start to lift to the north as we work our way into the overnight hours. If you do have New Year's Eve plans tonight, you'll be fine. Mostly cloudy skies. As we ring in the new year, the temperature's right around 29 degrees, and then temperatures will fall back down into the 20s as we get into the overnight hours. And as that storm system comes in, it's going to bring some warmer air with it in the middle layers of the atmosphere. And with temperatures below freezing, a classic setup, unfortunately, for what I think is the worst kind of wintry precipitation, and that is a freezing rain. Notice the time here. It's coming in towards a daybreak. This freezing rain will start to develop. It'll lift to the north. And even still at 9 a.m., definitely could potentially, from Indianapolis to the north, be slick across the area. So those first couple steps you take in 2021 on your sidewalk, on your steps, if you're going out, just give yourself a little bit of caution and take those gingerly, especially in northern locations where there could be some ice. And then eventually the warmer air works in and we transition over to some pretty good rain throughout the day. In fact, tomorrow's another day that we could see a ½ an inch to an inch of rain across the area. Temperatures do climb into the 50s though by tomorrow afternoon. And then we have a pretty quiet stretch of weather starting on a Saturday all the way through the middle of next week with temperatures in the 40s. But a winter weather advisory, Megan, will go into effect starting at 4 a.m. tomorrow morning.
All right, thanks, Todd. I'll step on the sidewalk gingerly, as you said. All right, well, bowl games are now underway, and Ball State's football team will get some national spotlight this New Year's Eve. The Cardinals won their first conference title in 24 years and will face San Jose State in the Arizona Bowl this afternoon. WRTV's Brad Brown shows us how BSU's stellar season came together.
As the Ball State football team arrived in Arizona this week, it is a scene that seemed unlikely just a couple of months earlier.
Thrilled to be here. Our guys have worked so hard for an opportunity like this. Obviously, accomplishing our goal, winning a MAC championship was tremendous, but this is the next great challenge for us, winning the first bowl game in the history of our program.
Ball State opened the season with a heartbreaking loss to Miami. Cards gave up a last-minute touchdown after tying the game, but since then, Ball State found a way to run the table all the way to a conference championship.
All year we've been picked to finish below all these teams, whether it was Western, Buffalo, Central, and so we just keep on knocking them down and keep on showing them.
Ever since then, the mindset, the mentality has been it's championship mentality. We're trying to stay in the winner's bracket, and that hasn't changed. I know we accomplished our goal of the MAC championship, but make no mistake, guys know that we have a chance to make history.
Close wins at home, blowout wins on the road, and a dominating performance against Buffalo in the MAC title game. All of it a culmination of 4 years of hard work by the entire program.
We got a lot of doubters, so we just gonna keep going, just make them, notice what we could do, notice how we play, and notice we not like just any, small team. We go out there and compete.
We preach in our program, and kind of the Cardinal way is just, effort takes you a long way, and a lot of their numbers, I think, come from just staying up or staying with the play and, never giving up on it.
And so now they get that much-coveted December trip to the desert. The Arizona Bowl won't be quite the spectacle as in a normal year, but the players still reap the rewards of all their hard work in 2020.
You guys are now tuned with Ball State football, baby. Let's get it.
Well, it's been a long road, and coming to a bowl has always been a big goal for our program, and being able to put in the work and get to this point where we're successful and being able to have the opportunity to play in the Arizona Bowl is huge for us.
This year will end with that one more game they've been chasing, and it will only fuel the Cardinals even more in 2021.
9-point underdog, and like Coach New was saying, I hope it's 10 tomorrow. Obviously in the MAC championship game, I think we were 13 and 14-point underdogs. So obviously, and we've shown all year that, the odds, you don't want to bet against Ball State for sure.
Brad Brown, WRTV Sports.
And IU plays Ole Miss in the Outback Bowl on Saturday afternoon. The Hoosiers are looking for their first bowl game victory since 1991. Live coverage from Raymond James Stadium in Tampa starts at 12:30 right here on WRTV.
Well, Wisconsin won their bowl game, beating Wake Forest in the Duke's Mayo Bowl yesterday. But with the victory celebration came a trophy tragedy. It all started in the locker room as a dance-off. It ended with the bowl trophy shattering on the floor. Quarterback Graham Mertz accidentally fumbled it during that victory dance, and the accident was all caught on camera.
Yep, it happened. I don't got anything besides that. Just got my mom would call it a boo-boo. But we'll be all right. We'll bounce back. So we'll be the last trophy I'll ever drop. I guarantee you that.
Well, Mertz later posted on Snapchat showing how the team fixed the trophy. They quickly taped an 18-ounce bottle of Duke's Mayo on the top to make it look just like new. Whoops, glad they didn't fumble during the game, though, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so.
The after party.
That poor trophy. All right.
Yeah.
Well, an Indiana man's start to the new year could make him a millionaire. After the break, the big lottery drawing he could win tonight on national TV.
And with New Year's celebrations comes New Year's resolutions. So coming up all new at 5 o'clock, why experts say fitness should be at the top of your list, especially during this pandemic. The time right now is 4:51. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Chamber465.com.
Welcome back. The stroke of midnight tonight could mean the stroke of luck for one Hoosier man who could start off 2021 winning $1 million.
Fingers crossed for him. So
Yeah.
Stephen Everidge lives in Seymour, Indiana, down in Jackson County. He won $500 on a scratch-off ticket. That win entered him into another drawing, which he also won, Lauren, making him eligible for the $1 million jackpot. Well, now he's one of 5 finalists across the country. Powerball and Dick Clark Productions teamed up for the Powerball First Millionaire of the Year promotion. And this is video from last year's drawing. That means Steve will appear on live TV here on WRTV and across the nation on Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve with Ryan Seacrest, all from the comfort of his own home.
Yes. Yeah, they're sending a camera crew to the house. They said there'd be like a 30-foot satellite truck sitting out here in front of the house for like 2 days. So I was like, oh, the neighbors are going to love that.
Oh, that's great. And
I love him.
He's awesome. We're rooting for you. And after the ball drops, you guys, the winner will be revealed live on national TV. Again, you can watch it tonight right here after WRTV's 11 o'clock news and cheer on your fellow Hoosier.
Oh, man, we are rooting for him.
Right.
Yeah, go Steve.
Fingers crossed for Steve.
I know.
Right?
I like how he's concerned about the neighbors.
At least he's worried about the neighbors, right? I think they'll be happy for him as well if he wins. All right. 36 today, pretty quiet end to the day here in central Indiana weather-wise for the year with just mostly cloudy skies. There's some slick spots this morning, though, with temperatures below freezing. We do run into some issues tomorrow morning. Freezing rain and then eventually going over to all rain as temperatures surge into the 50s. Could be some minor flooding tomorrow as well with another ½ an inch to an inch of rain. And then as we work our way throughout next week, it's pretty quiet. Could be a little wintry mix on Sunday, but temperatures in the low to mid 40s for next week. The time now is 4:57. You're watching Good Morning Indiana. We're back here at the top of the hour when Raphael joins Megan, Lauren, and myself.